Hey friends, I am currently driving to Austin, Texas, and it's a very cold day for Texas weather. The lows last night got into the 20s and it's currently 42 degrees. The battery performance is really low, not that great. There was a little warning that said I should keep my car plugged in because of the freezing temperatures. I'm currently at 75 miles of range and gonna stop in about 40 miles to charge up. The logistics of owning an electric car are quite tricky, and people that are staying away or cautious about electric cars have good reason to be cautious and wary. But overall, I don't think it's like no deal, or like I don't think it's what's it called? I don't think it's like a deal breaker. Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't think it's a deal breaker for me because I'm not trying to go drive a ton really quickly in most of my day-to-day driving. However, it is very hard to drive long distance. When I initially got the van, I was hoping to be able to do that, but I don't think it's possible anymore. Not with my schedule. If you had a different schedule and all the time in the world, or like really, really flexible time, then it's okay, I think. Like, you can make it work. You can find charging stations. You can do slow charging with just a 110 outlet if you really wanted to, if that worked for you. But with my particular schedule and what I was imagining doing with long distance travel, it's just not going to work. I think I'm resolved to believe. So instead, I'll be focusing on local trips, local travel, stealth, urban camping, as well as, honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm going to just rent out the van to folks who might want to do urban stealth camping. It's just been very hard with my schedule and all my other time commitments. But I just wanted to share what it's going to be like to drive to another city in cold weather with an electric car. So I'm at 74 miles of range now, and I'll give you all an update when I arrive to my charging station. So it's very convenient to travel from San Antonio to Austin because there's plenty of charging stations, and then there's a midpoint. The city of San Marcos is kind of a midpoint that I often stop and charge at. The ones I use are at behind the premium outlets there, and so I can always, it's like a really reliable charging station. So I'll arrive there in about 40 minutes and 37 miles of driving. When I get there, my range will be estimated like 33 miles. So it's only a level 2 charger, and I'll sit there and charge up for about, 30-40 minutes because I want to get my battery as full as possible. I've learned in recent times that it's best practice to just charge up to 80% or so. In the past, I would just try to charge up to 100%, but I think that is suggested in order to better battery performance or something like that. So I'll be charging up to at least 80%. My percentage right now is about 75% with 73 miles of range. It's very low. It's dropped very low because there was a really, really big winter freeze for the past few days. Okay, so I'll check in again when I hit San Marcos and when I start charging up. Bye! So I just got to this charging station here in San Marcos. It's an EV Go fast charging station, level 2. I think it's rated to charge up to 50 kilowatt hours, something like that. So it's not super fast, but it's reliable. And I'm going to charge up here for the next, I don't know, 30 minutes. I arrived with like 33 miles of range at, I think, 39%. So I'll get up to at least 80% before I take off. I'll like watch some TV or, I don't know, chill in the back. Sometimes it's not really a big issue for me. Sometimes I like eat a meal or something if I plan it ahead really well. But yeah, it's really quiet back here as well, which is why I like this particular spot. You could even do stealth camping back here. It's a very large public shopping area, and it's situated here in the back of this shopping area. So this kind of a dependable charging station, which is surprisingly hard to find. There are always little issues that come up with charging stations. One of the biggest ones being they're not working or they're broken. The other big one being that the charging stations are mislabeled. So like you go somewhere expecting to find a public charging station, but it's like private, or it's not there, or it's like sort of weird, like at a car dealership. And that's a big problem too. That's what I ran into when I tried to take a trip to Garner State Park, which totally ruined my trip. But maybe that was a good thing after all. So the charging stations are quite tricky, but I guess get the hang of it, and they're only going to improve, I hope. I'm learning a lot about, where the good ones are in my local area. It's not too hard to like actually use them. Sometimes you sign up for an account with a particular brand or like network, like the EVgo network. I signed up, I got a card mailed to me that has a RFID chip in it, but you can also just download their app, and it's very easy to use. Yeah, so I'm here. I'm gonna hang out for a little while, and this is gonna be my trip. Pretty simple. Just gotta plan ahead, like maybe an extra hour of charging time if that's what's needed. For this trip, yeah, usually like 30-45 minutes of extra time that I have to plan into my trip so that I could charge up. Okay, bye.